Picture this: March 12th, 1987, near Moscow. A fire erupted in Hangar 19, a secret airfield. 5 men perished, their names lost to history. Their families were told of an industrial accident. The truth remained buried under Cold War secrecy. Even the fall of the Soviet Union couldn't reveal it. The fire was contained, reports confiscated, silence. The hangar was sealed, armed guards posted. Inside a mock-up of Air Force One. This is the story of Soviet intelligence's ambition, how they tried to steal the future of presidential aviation, and how their failure was erased in a single night. To understand, we go back to 1981. The Air Force considered replacing aging VC-137s. By the early 80s, they wanted something bigger. In 1985, they chose 2 Boeing 747s, transforming them into flying fortresses, command centers. The program was designated VC-25, cutting-edge aerospace engineering and communications. Not just luxury airliners, but flying fortresses, designed to survive electromagnetic pulses and missile attacks. Refuel in midair, secure communications anywhere. The specifications were highly classified. The Soviets wanted to know everything. Height of the Cold War, tensions were high. Intelligence gathering was an obsession. Imagine an aircraft designed to withstand electromagnetic pulses and missile attacks. It could refuel midair and maintain secure communications globally. The specifications were highly classified, a closely guarded secret. The modifications were extensive, and the Soviets wanted to know everything. This was the height of the Cold War, a time of great tension. Ronald Reagan was president, a key figure in this global standoff. Tensions between Washington and Moscow were extremely high. The Soviet Union was struggling, desperate for any advantage. Intelligence gathering was an obsession, a top priority. Every American military program was a target for Soviet spies. The VC-25 program was particularly valuable to them. Soviet intelligence began collecting information almost immediately. The operation involved multiple branches and methods. They had human sources inside Boeing facilities in Seattle. Subcontractors and low-level employees provided fragments of information. None of these sources had complete access to the program. They received drips and drabs, bits of technical data. One source reported dimensions, another fuel capacity. A third described cabin layout and electromagnetic shielding. None of it was complete, verified, or consistent. American counterintelligence was aware of the Soviet efforts. They implemented aggressive security measures. Deliberate disinformation was fed to suspected sources. By late 1985, they had accumulated hundreds of reports. The Kremlin wanted actionable insights to understand the aircraft's vulnerabilities. Some believed the only way to understand the VC-25 was to build one themselves. The decision was made in early 1986 to construct a physical mock-up. It was a black program organized by a small group within the GRU. Imagine Cold War tensions as they sought to understand vulnerabilities. Could it be tracked, intercepted, disabled? A burning question. Build one themselves, they thought. A bold, audacious plan. Early 1986, the decision was made shrouded in secrecy. Not mainstream, not approved, a black program took shape. Technical intelligence, science and technology, a clandestine alliance. The logic was sound: reconstruct, study, understand. They had done this before. Radar installations, missile systems. Test electronic systems, simulate attacks, train special forces. But the VC-25, a massive complex aircraft, thousands of integrated systems, classified fragmentary information, significant resources, skilled labor, above all secrecy. An intelligence disaster, a massive mole hunt, sources at risk. Nevertheless, the decision was made. A remote airfield was selected. Experimental aviation projects, infrastructure security isolation. Hangar 19 cleared out, reinforced under military guard. Engineers, aviation specialists, intelligence analysts assembled. Training simulator, they were told, but few knew the truth. March 1986, work began on the airframe. Dimensions, structural data, a skeleton approximating the VC-25. Not to fly a shell, a three-dimensional model for tactical analysis. Even that limited goal proved extraordinarily difficult. Inconsistent intelligence, contradictory specifications problems arose. Rebuild they had to, new intelligence suggested errors. Materials were a problem. Soviet standards didn't align. Imagine a team trying to make a plane fly, but it was just a shell. This wasn't a real aircraft, just a model for analysis and training. Even that goal was difficult. Intelligence was inconsistent. Reports gave different measurements, specifications contradicted. Engineers rebuilt sections based on new contradictory intel. Certain components had no direct equivalence. The work was slow, frustrating, and dangerous. Aviation construction involves heavy machinery and volatile materials. The hangar was crowded poorly, ventilated, and operating in secrecy. Shortcuts were taken, safety protocols relaxed in the rush. By early autumn, 40% of the fuselage was constructed. It was recognizable, but incomplete, unstable, and riddled with gaps. Morale was low, engineers were exhausted, doubts increased. Could the project be completed? Was it even worth completing? Then on the night of March 12, 1987, everything fell apart. It started after 11 p.m. with an electrical fault. Sparks ignited insulation, fuel residue solvents, and lubricants. Within minutes, the fire was out of control. The ventilation system turned the building into a chimney. Workers scrambled to evacuate, but the smoke was disorienting. Exits became bottlenecks. Some men made it out, others didn't. 5 workers died from smoke inhalation and burns. The mock-up was heavily damaged, consumed by the fire. Picture the interior, a scene of devastation. The mock-up was heavily damaged by fire. Metal warped and twisted, electronics destroyed beyond any hope of recovery. The incident was immediately classified. Families received vague explanations. Reports listed the deaths as industrial accidents. No public announcement. The hangar was sealed indefinitely. The struggling project was effectively dead. Discussions arose about salvaging the work, but by 1987, momentum was lost. The fire had killed the project, along with the 5 men inside the hangar. Intelligence on the VC-25 was deeply flawed and outdated. Some specifications were fabrications, American counterintelligence at work. Technical jargon was misinterpreted by analysts lacking expertise. A year wasted resources, squandered 5 lives lost on bad intelligence. The decision was made to abandon the mock-up project entirely. The work stopped. The team disbanded, engineers reassigned far from Moscow. A tacit acknowledgement that the operation was a failure to be buried. The mock-up remained too large and damaged to be moved easily. It stayed in Hangar 19, a ghost of a project that never should have existed. Over the years, the site became a legend in military and intelligence circles. Rumors circulated still intact, dismantled in secret, or never existed at all. But the hangar remained, and inside it, so did the mock-up, according to some. In the spring of 2004, aviation enthusiasts became interested. 17 years after the fire, 13 years after the Soviet Union's collapse, a group of urban explorers became interested in the old Zhukovsky airfield. The Cold War secrets long buried were about to be unearthed once more. Imagine the stories hidden within those walls, waiting to be told. Picture this, a forgotten relic of a bygone era, a testament to ambition and failure. The Zhukovsky airfield held secrets that time had tried to erase, but not quite. Rumors swirled about the mock-up's fate. Some said it remained hidden and forgotten. Others claimed it was dismantled long ago. Some even doubted its existence. Yet the hangar stood, and some whispered the mock-up remained inside. Picture this: 2004. Aviation enthusiasts sought Zhukovsky airfield. Cold War secrecy had eased. Forgotten sites were now open to exploration. They documented pieces of Soviet history, uncovering forgotten stories. The men had heard rumors of Hangar 19 piecing together information. They believed something significant was inside related to aviation. On April 22, 2004, they approached the site. The airfield was restricted, security weakened since the Soviet era. Hangar 19 remained sealed doors, chained entry forbidden. The men tried to enter through a side door, tools in hand. They were confronted by security personnel during their attempt. The guard's identity was unclear, private or military, it did not matter. The men were detained, questioned about their knowledge and motives. They claimed to be hobbyists curious about aviation history. They were released without charge, warned not to return, equipment seized. The incident might have ended there, a minor trespassing case. But on September 17, 2004, Hangar 19 burned. The fire started around 2 a.m. The structure was quickly engulfed. Firefighters arrived, but there was nothing left to save. They made no attempt to enter. The building was fully destroyed. Picture this: the end of an era, a secret lost to flames. The mystery of Hangar 19 remains unsolved to this day. Imagine the secrets that went up in smoke that night. A chapter closed, leaving behind unanswered questions. The trespassers were freed, warned, and their gear seized. It seemed minor until Hangar 19 burned down. September 17, 2004, it was gone. 2 a.m. firefighters arrived, but it was too late. The building was consumed, the roof collapsed inwards. Dawn revealed only charred remains and scattered debris. Whatever was inside reduced to ash and twisted metal. The fire's intensity made investigation difficult. Spontaneous combustion was the official explanation, a plausible excuse for derelict military sites. But the timing was suspicious. Just 5 months later, the fire conveniently destroyed any evidence inside. Rumors spread on online forums, speculation erupted. Russian intelligence sought to destroy the mock-up. Coincidence? Hangar slated for demolition anyway. Or revenge by the arrested men destroying evidence? New investigation, new arrests, new official statements. The story faded, buried by the internet's constant churn. The site was cleared, Hangar 19 bulldozed away. Today, nothing indicates Hangar 19 ever existed. Did the Soviets build a mock-up of Air Force One? Destroyed in 1987, or did it survive? Was the 2004 fire an accident, or a deliberate act to hide remaining secrets? Imagine a place where Hangar 19 never existed, its secrets lost to time. Did the Soviets truly construct a replica of Air Force One, a ghost of Cold War ambition? Was it consumed by the 1987 fire, or did it endure until 2004? Was the 2004 fire an accident or a calculated act to bury the truth? Evidence suggests the mock-up project was real, a secret endeavor shrouded in mystery. Former intelligence officers confirm the project near Jakhovsky, ending in tragedy. Accounts vary, some say 5 died, others more, but the core story remains consistent. The 1987 fire is documented in declassified Soviet military archives. An industrial accident near Moscow in March 1987 with multiple fatalities. The location, timing, and secrecy align with a classified intelligence project. The 2004 incident is harder to verify, shrouded in unanswered questions. 3 men arrested never spoke publicly, their motives and findings unknown. Online posts confirm their interest in the hangar, but their identities remain a mystery. Local news reported a blaze in September 2004 with no follow-up or explanation. A story between history and conspiracy facts, mixed with missing records and questions. Significant events at Zhukovsky in the 1980s and 2004, but what were they? If true, the Soviets attempted to reconstruct the VC-25 based on stolen intelligence, a testament to the lengths intelligence agencies go to during geopolitical tension. The Cold War, defined by espionage and the constant effort to penetrate each other's secrets. One more operation that succeeded in collecting intelligence but failed in making use of it. Highlighting the inherent difficulty of intelligence work, particularly technical intelligence. Stealing secrets is one thing, understanding them is another entirely. The Soviets collected massive information on the VC-25 program. But without context, without verification, the information was ultimately useless. Imagine a fire consuming evidence beyond recognition. Questions unanswered. History, especially espionage, is built on fragments and incomplete accounts. The Cold War, millions of documents, covert operations, secrets buried forever. Some secrets emerge as archives open and veterans share their stories. But many secrets remain undocumented, destroyed, or still classified. The VC-25 mock-up, a story told in whispers and rumors. Air Force One, a symbol of American power, mirrored by Soviet desperation. The VC-25 aircraft still serve, nearing their operational end. Replacements are coming, a new generation with advanced capabilities. Foreign agencies seek information, but intelligence is now largely digital. Cyber intrusions, hacking, electronic surveillance are today's tools. The goal remains: understand adversaries, find vulnerabilities, stay ahead. Will anyone build a mock-up of the new aircraft? Doubtful. Such efforts are too resource-intensive and difficult to keep secret. The lessons: such projects are too dependent on accurate intelligence. But the impulse to reconstruct something tangible from fragments remains. Picture this: London 1665, the Great Plague transforms the city. In the winter of 1777, a young soldier's decision, she walked through the palace halls, knowing her words could start a war. Imagine a fire consuming evidence beyond recognition. Questions unanswered. History, especially espionage, is built on fragments and incomplete accounts. The Cold War, millions of documents, covert operations, secrets buried forever. Some secrets emerge as archives open and veterans share their stories. But many secrets remain undocumented, destroyed, or still classified. The VC-25 mock-up, a story told in whispers and rumors. Air Force One, a symbol of American power, mirrored by Soviet desperation.